right now.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Kenny Banana.
Kenny Banana.
This is my buddy, Kind Kenny Banana. Hi, Kenny. How are you today?
Hey, Kenny. You know, for those of you watching by television, this 7-foot banana has been off the screen. You haven't been able to see it, and we're trying to ignore it. But I'm glad you're here, Kenny, at this point. And kids love this fruit stuff.
Absolutely. You know, one of the capturing statements that we like to say is what this does is brings a spiritual truth that is invisible into a visible medium,
yes,
so that we can then make it valuable.
Isn't that what Jesus did,
exactly
when he taught with illustrations and he brought the little children to
yes,
him, and he loved them and he touched them? You got to touch the heart of a child.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So what we put together in this visual medium, we've got obviously kid-oriented characters that are simple and fun and lovable, and they are inviting. They make you want to learn about who they are. And this particular one is Kind Kenny Banana. But we've got 8 other ones.
And what I like about this, Danny, is the excellence.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of times, you know, in the church we have, in the past,
yes,
neglected the excellence.
Yes.
But you guys have just done it. I mean, this is like VeggieTales quality, you know.
Yes.
I mean, this is super stuff.
Well, it is, and we've got you know, animated videos and music and books and toys and games and gifts and apparel. And primarily what we've done is we've tried to bring this into the realm of excellence the way the secular world does things. So our animators, for instance, are ex-Disney folks. They're just excellent in everything they do. Our animation is produced in India, which is where the top 3D computer-generated images are done in the world today. Our music was done in Nashville with some top folks there. So we have taken the twist here of that we believe that God operates sovereignly and powerfully in the marketplace, but that we have to have wisdom to be able to move in those realms so that we can touch the boardrooms in America and around the world with the same excellence that the other mediums are doing. So that's what we're after.
Well, and it's soon to be introduced to the public. It's not quite there yet, but you'll be watching for this.
Yes.
And what's exciting about it is right here from our area, God is going to touch the world. So to our viewers, you can watch for the number on the screen, and they can give you more information about how you can find out about VisionWorks, and also, what is it, SunnyFruit Farms?
It's SunnyFruit Farms. So we've got this umbrella that has kind of made us a little bit different from our good friends at VeggieTales. We love what they're doing because they plowed ground, so to speak, for us. But SunnyFruit Farms is an environment that we have created that the fruit friends of the Spirit live in. Kind Kenny Banana happens to be one of those fruit friends. And then, of course, in any great story, you have to have the bad guys. So we have the dirty, rotten little egg and the mean green tomato. And the whole essence of what we're doing is that we have real children that are involved in these as well. So we have a mythical world, if you will, a spiritual component to this. SunnyFruit Farms, the bad guys live in Swamp Hollow. So it's kind of dark and dingy and dreary.
I've been
there. Yeah, so have I.
I've been there. I know where that is.
And but we have the kids that come down the path of life, and all of the action kind of takes place at the fruit stand. So there's temptation there. There's, you know, all of the bantering back and forth with the kids to do the right thing and do the bad thing. And typically what the kids do, just in the storylines of our episodes, is they'll go with dirty, rotten little egg or mean green tomato for just a short time. And then because of the components of the fruit of the Spirit, they'll begin to turn their hearts. And it's just wonderful.
Danny, I want you to take us back now. For when you came to Christ,
yes,
there was a specific verse that God impressed upon you. And it's an unusual verse.
Yes.
It's an unusual verse. It comes from Malachi. Why don't you tell us how that impacted your life? And I think really brought us to where you are today with this ministry.
That's exactly right. Well, so many years ago now, 16 years ago, I had been in the church for 18 years, but that verse I'd never heard before. It's the last verse in the Old Testament. There's silence then for 700 years. When John the Baptist again comes on the scene, it is the verse that he talks about, the turning of the hearts of the fathers. But there's power in this verse, Dennis, as you know. And it talks about the Lord sending His Spirit into people's lives so that supernaturally then the heart of the fathers, or I like to say spiritual parents. So it's not gender based. It can be mom or dad, but it talks about the father heart of God, turning the hearts of their children to the fathers so that in turn the children then can turn their hearts. You see, so many times we miss that. The parents must initiate. Spiritual parenting is an initiating spirit that then ends up turning the hearts of the fathers. And when that happens, the curses of divorce, of alcoholism, of drug addiction, of omission of being involved in your kids' lives gets broken supernaturally by the Spirit of God. It's a powerful dynamic of God's kingdom. And so out of this, I began to understand that what God was calling me was not only to father my own children, but He was asking me to spiritually begin to father children in this realm of the business realm, which is what I believe this whole thing of SunnyFruit Farms is about.
So you believe that God speaks to the hearts of children?
Absolutely.
Now, I know that you're preparing for a missions trip along with
Yes.
quite a group of people from our church. You're headed to Monterrey, Mexico.
Yes.
And I think there's about 70 on this
That
trip.
is
Is
correct.
that correct?
Yes.
You know, folks, we have found out that God does things with children and that children can minister. So children aged 9 to 12, we're sending 70, along with, of course, some adults that will chaperone, to minister to children in Mexico. Let's don't forget the kids, but let's believe that God